All right, y'all, let's see. Let me make sure I got everything together here. This is my very first time going live on I Love Me, Me, Me. Let me see about this camera. It's all messing up today. All right, I think that's a little bit better. My eyes look so dark. Anywho, y'all, thanks so much for coming out to my live today. This is my very first time coming out for a live YouTube video. And one of the reasons why I became alive today is because I didn't have time to record the video. Actually, I had time to record the video. It's just for some reason, I need to just buckle down and get me a new laptop. So that's what's going on. I need to buckle down and get me a new laptop. But I came out here because, as you've seen the title is Apologize. Apologizing is one of the most effective ways at mending your broken relationship. What you may not know about me is that every time I get on here, I am not only talking to you, trying to help you out, I'm also trying to help me out. You also may not know why I started my YouTube channel, because I actually don't talk about it much. And I started my YouTube channel because, to be quite frank, to be quite honest, I was tired of losing, y'all. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was sick and tired of losing. I was sick and tired of jumping from relationship to relationship. I was sick and tired of, hopping in, hoping that everything is going to work out, going along with the flow, not really knowing what I'm doing, but I'm jumping in because I know that I want a relationship. But because I didn't have the proper tools, I didn't get the proper tools from my parents, I didn't know what I was doing. And I'm sure many of you out there can relate. You don't know what you're doing. And that's okay, because you may not know, most of you out here know that I'm married, right? But what you don't know is that at least some of you, maybe most of you actually, don't know that this is actually my second marriage. And the reason why it's important to say that is because I do not have all the answers, and I especially did not have all the answers when I got married the first time around. So when I got married the first time around, I was just winging it because I didn't know what was going on. But again, I knew that I wanted to be in a relationship. I knew that I wanted to be happy. I knew that I wanted things to progress and just have a happy-go-lucky relationship, a happy-go-lucky marriage. But it didn't work out that way. And so after I got a divorce, I was in the dating scene for 14 years. And in the process of being in the dating scene for 14 years, I was trying to figure this thing out, y'all. I was really trying to figure this thing out. Like, what is really going on? Like, whose life is this? This is not the relationship that I signed up for, or the lack thereof of being in a relationship. I was distraught. I was angry. I was like, I can't get this thing together. How come none of my relationships are working out? Like, I'm doing everything that I know that I need to be doing, but I'm still ending up single, or not getting the title, or like, what was happening? And so because of that, towards the end of that 14 years, so actually I can say about year 12, about year 12 is when I started to work on myself. I started to interview some of my exes because I needed to figure out why things weren't working out. What was I doing wrong and why things weren't working out? And so because of that, I was able to collect the data, do the work on myself, know exactly who I am, know exactly what I want, and I'm able to apply all of those things in my marriage now. And even when I was still dating, I was able to apply some of those things in my dating relationship as well. So that's a little bit of the background about me. But what you also may not know about me is that I'm very stubborn. Or I can be. I have a tendency to be stubborn at times, especially when I think that I'm right. Which brings me to the topic of today, which is apologizing. You have to suck it up and tuck your tail and go and apologize to your spouse, because as I just mentioned, apologizing is the Number one way to mend a broken relationship. One of the reasons why you need to just man up or woman up and say, I'm sorry, is because it actually shows your partner that you care about their feelings and that you care about the relationship. Because most people don't realize that the divorce rate is so high because of these two simple words of I'm sorry, and people not saying them enough. So they're not saying I'm sorry enough, and then they're wondering why their relationship is falling through the cracks and falling by the wayside. They're not happy. They hate going home. They hate really speaking to their spouse. They get irritated every time their spouse comes through the door. And a lot of times it has to do with these simple words. I'm sorry. Because you want to be right, your partner want to be right, or in my case, I want to be right, or maybe my husband wants to be right. And after so many times of you having and you needing to be right, you keep creating all of this distance. And so each time, 2 days went by this time. And then next time y'all get in an argument, neither one of y'all want to say I'm sorry. And then 4 days go by. And then the next time you get in an argument, 6 days go by. Yeah, I'm doubling it, but you get my drift. It could be longer periods of time. It could be shorter periods of time. But the point is, each and every time that happens, you are creating space for somebody else to creep in on your relationship. We're trying to decrease the divorce rate here at ilmememe. And a way to do that is anytime I'm bringing some information to you, and anytime somebody brings some new information to myself, I take heed, I listen, and I actually apply those things to my relationship. Anytime I'm coming here to share any knowledge with you is because I'm taking the actual actions and implementing them into my own relationship. See, I'm not one of these gurus out here or relationship people out here that are telling you one thing and then not doing it myself. I have to practice what I preach. Not only do I want to be a public success, I also want to be a private success, meaning my household. So I don't want to be out here in public and everybody like, ooh, whoop-de-whoop-de-woo. They have all of these beautiful things to say. But then when I go back home, I'm living in a different world, a world that you guys are not privy to, right? So I recently had to have a tough conversation with my husband, and I was being stubborn. He was being stubborn, so now you got two stubborn people. And neither one of us wanted to break the silence. And so because I'm not perfect, and I'm still a work in progress, and God is still working on me, I let a week go by. Now, why did I let a week go by? Because deep down inside, I wanted to be right, and I wanted him to come to me. But is that really helping solve the issue? It's not. It's not, and I know that it's not, right? Especially since I have the knowledge. I know what to do, because I come in here and preach it all the time. I know what to do. I just wasn't doing it myself because I wanted to be right. And anytime we let our pride and ego get in the way, we have to be right, we end up losing. Any time you let your pride and ego get in the way, you end up losing. And so sometimes you have to say, I'm sorry. And I had to go and tuck my tail and say I'm sorry and move our relationship back into its happy state. Move our relationship back into the state where we're talking and getting along with one another and having fun and laughing and joking, just being silly, doing things that we like to do together. Another thing that apologizing does is it makes you feel better as the person who actually goes and apologizes, because you're thinking, you know what? I can make this thing work. Things can actually work out in my relationship. I can get this thing together. And guess what? It's actually helping me grow. This right here is helping me grow. This right here is helping me mature. Because a lot of people are in these relationships and they're not mature. And that's okay for a period of time. But your relationships are about you growing. They're about shaping who you are and who you are going to be. Another thing that apologizing does is that it builds the trust between you and your partner, between you and your spouse. It builds the trust. Because now I really, really know that you got my back and I got yours. We got each other's back because we're able to just, you know what, say this is really not worth it. It's really not worth it. Let me go in here and apologize so we can get back to talking, because I really want to talk to you, because I actually miss you, because I like being around you. I actually like you as a person. And so it builds up the trust within yourself, but also within your relationship. Apologizing also helps to soothe the wounds that have been created. Yes, getting rid of all that stuff. It helps to heal the broken heart that happened as well. But we just have to take this time, take the opportunity to say, you know what? I really do need to apologize. And I need to be the first one. Because a lot of us don't want to be the first one to apologize, because we have to be right. And so the question becomes, do you want to be right, or do you want to be married? Or do you want to be right, or do you want to be in that relationship? Which one is more important? Which one is more important to you? Just something to think about. Something to think about. Apologizing also helps other people stay out of your relationship. Meaning, those other side people, those other outside forces who will come into your relationship and take it over. And slowly but surely, your relationship is declining right before your eyes. But you are not noticing it, because you have become too stubborn, and you did not want to apologize, because you're waiting for the other person to come apologize to you. So apologizing helps to decrease the chances of somebody else creeping in on your relationship. Because Keisha down the street actually got a big old booty. She got a big old booty, and I like her booty. And guess what? You in here, you acting a doggone fool, and I can just go down the street and talk to Keisha, because I know she like me, right? Or from the woman's side, I've been getting a lot of DMs. They be in my face every time I leave, and I'm blocking them. I'm blocking them. And every time I'm blocking them, and now the one person attention that I really want to get is yours, but you're not giving it to me. And so now I'm about to, because I'm bored, and I really want that emotional support, that emotional attention from you. But because you're not giving it to me, I'm bored. So now I'm about to start entertaining these people on my phone, because I never deleted them. I just never responded. So now I'm entertaining those people. Again, because you're letting the space build up. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm never going to say that it's right, but that's a different video. We're talking about apologizing and what apologizing does for your relationship. Sis, bruh, do you need to go apologize? Do you need to click off this video right now and go and apologize, so you can get back to the happier time, so you can get back to the loving, so you can get back to the intimacy, so you can get back to your connection? If that's what you need to do, then it's time. Don't let these outside forces get into your relationship because you didn't go and apologize. Now, why are you not shutting off here?